Welcome to Cooking with the Tres Sorelli, brought to you by Columbus Vegetable Oils. We are the three sisters, the Rini girls. It's Gracie, it's Joe, and I'm Bibi. And today we're making something that's simple, fabulous. You're gonna love the way it tastes, and it's easy. I don't know what else to say. Summerfresh Feta tomato salad.
It's another summertime dish. My daughter Jen was the one that discovered this, and she has made it both with asparagus or with green beans. So it's a kind of a versatile dish, you know. Again, see what you have home, go with that. So that's where we're
I've
gonna
never
start.
made this before, but I love all these ingredients, so putting them together.
All right, and I know your taste, you're gonna like it.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. There's no doubt.
So we're gonna get started. The first thing we're gonna do is, we're making it with asparagus today. So we think the best way to do it is sort of cut it in like 1.5-inch pieces. And the reason for this too is, remember when they're eating it, it's already ready to eat, just at that
that's
size.
nice. That's
if you
nice.
leave a whole piece, you know, then you're gonna have to cut it up. These
Right.
are sort of bite size, and you can just eat them as is.
That's that's really nice.
Yeah,
I like that.
So we're just going to, let's put these.
We start with, what is it, about a cup
About
and
a cup and a half.
1.5 cups
I think
of
that's enough, Joe.
So you could do the asparagus, or you could even do a mixture of asparagus and green beans if that's what you know, if you have a little bit of each home.
So we're gonna boil this for 3 minutes, okay? And one of you guys set the timer over there.
Okay.
Okay, it's all ready to go.
There you go.
Okay. And while we're doing that, we can
Gotta
mix
love
the
the
dressing.
timer.
Okay.
Okay.
I like to time everything. That's how you don't make mistakes.
Exactly.
Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to mix the dressing now, and in a small bowl, whisk the vinegar.
And we did use balsamic vinegar.
Okay.
And I think we used about 2 tablespoons, right? Something like that?
2 tablespoons, that's
Okay.
correct. Basil, which is 4.5 teaspoons of minced fresh basil.
Well, you know, I think I'm going to do, the order's, what you're reading is right, Gracie, but I think I'm going to put these things together, mix them a little
okay,
first.
the oil and the
then
vinegar
add the
together.
basil.
Yeah,
Okay.
The spices, and put the basil in.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
So it's 1 tablespoon of olive oil, right?
Yes. And then a teaspoon of salt.
Okay. And I did use kosher salt. I like to
Okay.
use that. You know?
What's the difference in kosher and sea salt? What makes the difference in the taste?
You know
Anybody
what? I really don't know. I'm not
Okay.
sure. We'll have to find out.
Before our next show, we'll
A
find
half a
out.
teaspoon of pepper.
Okay. And I'm just going to whisk that a little bit, and then I'll add the basil, which
Okay.
we already. You know, one thing, Joe and I were talking about this earlier. Of course, we got some nice fresh basil from the yard. Basil is so fragile. It doesn't have a lot. You know, you've got to do something with it right away because it doesn't last. You know, you've got to take care of it immediately.
And I always thought you were supposed to refrigerate it, and you're not.
No.
Yeah.
Because if you refrigerate it, it gets brown.
Yeah.
Well, if you go to a lot of grocery stores, you'll notice that all the herbs are in the refrigerator section except basil.
basil.
The basil's in the middle usually.
Usually next is tomatoes.
Yep.
Exactly.
There you go.
So there we go. Our dressing's just about made. Okay. And now we're just have to wait for our asparagus to cook. Okay. So now the asparagus is done. Okay. So we're gonna drain it.
Now, do you think you cook green beans as long as you do asparagus? Those would be a little bit longer, or the same amount of time?
I think green beans a little
A
longer.
little bit longer.
Yeah.
Okay. And we're just gonna drain it. You can see it's nice and hot. Okay.
There you go.
So it's nice. See how nice and bright green it is?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Okay. And then
Very
all
nice.
we do is to keep it, I know we do talk about ice water, but you know what? I found using ice is actually easier. Just put ice on top. It cools it, keeps it from cooking anymore, and the color stays nice
The
and
color
bright
stays
and green.
nice. Yes,
And
that's
I
good.
like
Important.
that.
Yeah.
I hate when the vegetables are that soggy,
Yes.
dark.
I'll take those.
Thanks, Joe. Okay, so we put that ice on top, and I just let it cool a little bit. And now I just take it all off like this. Like I said, for me, this is easier than ice water. You know, but you could do the ice water, whichever is simpler for you. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think that's good.
And I do still pat it dry because it is nicer if it doesn't have a lot of moisture in it to it. So we're just going to pat it real nicely, just to try to get it a little bit dry.
The dressing will stick better, I think, if it's dry, right?
Okay, so now we're just going to toss this into the bowl. Okay, like that.
There you go.
And they look so nice and green and fresh and crisp. And like I said, the green beans would be great too.
Yes.
Okay.
I think so.
And now we're going to add the tomatoes. Now we use some like little mini.
You're right, the little grape tomatoes, even though the recipe says 3 medium tomatoes. Again, and a medium tomato we figured was about a half a cup. So this is a 1.5 cups of the chopped grape tomatoes.
I like grape tomatoes.
Yeah, well,
I think
you know
they
what?
have a very good taste.
Plus, they're nice. You can get them in the winter, and they're still tasty. Where most
That's
other
a good
tomatoes
point.
taste
Because,
horrible in the
yeah,
winter.
exactly. And the other thing too is when you use a tomato like this, it doesn't have a lot of juice. And I don't like when there's a lot of that liquidy juice at the
Right,
bottom.
right.
So when you use these are cherry even. They're
Right, but you know, too, we showed these that they're whole because if somebody was short on time or they wanted to, you could easily just throw them in whole. You wouldn't really have to chop them like we did.
But you can use
So,
any kind of tomato
yes.
that you want. And if you have something in your yard or if you've got something at a farmer's
We were
market
picking
or whatever.
tomatoes yesterday, the first tomatoes of the summer, so it was nice.
It's just, that's so beautiful, isn't it?
Oh, it's
And now
yes,
we're
it's
just going to
very
take that
beautiful.
dressing that we made earlier and pour it on there. Now the one thing that this recipe calls for is mixing this all and then refrigerating it for about an hour, at least an hour. If you have a little more time, that's great, but if you don't, that's okay too. So you're going to mix this together so they sort of the flavors blend
Yes.
and they get real tasty. And then you're going to put the cheese on really right before serving.
Okay.
You know? Now one thing I know, do you like feta cheese?
Yes, I
Because
do.
one of the things that Joe and I were talking about is you could make it with feta. You could make it with blue cheese. You could make
Right.
it with gorgonzola cheese. You could
Right.
make it with goat cheese.
Right.
So it's sort of nice. It's one of those things that you can do substitutions if you like something better or if you have it home.
Right.
Use that. You know.
Right.
So it just makes it simpler, I think. But I know that we all like feta. Okay, that's great. And it smells good, doesn't it? Ooh,
Yeah.
I love the way it
It smells
smells.
wonderful.
And then of
And now we're
course.
using a cup of feta. in
Right.
this-
Now, again, remember, at this point, you're really supposed to refrigerate it for about an hour. But we're going to put the cheese on top.
But we've done it too, where we've just made it like this and just served it immediately too.
Because sometimes
you just
don't have the time.
No.
It just doesn't
And you know
fit
what?
into the schedule.
You have to be flexible when you cook because sometimes unusual things happen.
Yes.
So
Oh, don't we know that?
we've all had kitchen catastrophes.
We'll have to share our disasters sometimes.
I had one just the other day.
Really?
What was it? You gonna
doesn't wanna tell us.
Okay, don't tell.
No, I don't mind telling you, but we don't want to take that. We don't want to take ourselves off course. But
Oh, does
Okay.
that look fabulous?
Yeah,
Oh
it
my
does.
God, I
Looks
can't
great.
wait to try this. We're
Oh,
gonna
that-
dish a
it
little
looks
out. And we're gonna do
wonderful.
some sampling. Okay. So I'm ready to sample this, but I think before we do, we've got to have some wine. And Joe, what did you pick?
Well, we picked a Chardonnay today. It's
Okay.
a nice summertime drink, cold, and it's close to the Bois, and it's from whoever has the best price is Costco. It's $7.99 a bottle, which is really,
You
really
can't go
reasonable.
wrong. That's
no, and
fabulous.
this is a decent, just a standard Chardonnay. So.
Yeah, and it's really, I mean, I know you're a big Chardonnay person, and I think one of the things that you always say about this, I think is interesting, it's such a reasonably priced wine, and the taste is good.
Yeah, it's very decent. Yeah, it's good.
if Joe likes it, then it's good Chardonnay.
Exactly.
Well,
she's a Chardonnay lover.
She is
But
the-
you know what, though? Some people
she's the-
probably would like it because it's a little too heavy for them. So if
Oh.
someone likes a lighter Chardonnay, they might not like this.
Okay.
Okay, well, we got to try this
Okay.
first, don't we? Okay.
Yes.
And Grace, I'm anxious
So
to see what you
beautiful.
think of it
Tell
because
us
you
what
haven't
you
had
think.
it.
It's so
Before.
beautiful.
And I just think it's really good.
Oh my.
Isn't that good?
Oh, this is really wonderful.
And you can see how good it would taste with other kinds of cheese too, don't you think?
Oh, this is very good.
I love this for the summertime. It's good with a nice piece of fish or chicken or even a steak, something simple. And you can make this a little bit in advance if you're having company. So you don't have to worry about making everything at the last minute.
Oh, this is wonderful.
But I think it's
I
delicious.
think it tastes really good chilled.
Definitely. I want to try
Okay.
this.
All
We're gonna
right.
have a toast, huh?
Of course.
Cheers.
Something different.
As Mom always said.
Cooking's a labor of love.
Thanks again. We'll see you next time.
Very nice.
You know, this is better than I thought.
I like the Clos de
Yeah.
Bois.
Yeah.
It's a really nice,
It's funny,
reliable
I haven't
Chard-
had it in ages, and it's better than I thought it was.
It's very good. Oh, I may have to have another sip.
Want me to
Very
twist
good.
your arm?
Please click on the link below this video for the recipe we made today. Stand Up to Cancer is the official charity of La Tre Sorelle. Our whole family supports the Stand Up to Cancer organization.